The last tool that I'm going to show you on how to edit your image is by using the Perspective Warp tool. Now again, this is a tool I haven't used a whole lot, but I'm going to show you a brief overview of how it works so that you can get in and start messing around with it. So if you go to the top and you click on Edit, you can see here that we have the Perspective Warp tool. And if we go ahead and click on that, it's going to give us some tips on how to use it. We'll just go ahead and exit this for now. Basically, we're just going to click in the image and we're going to get this little grid. Now you can click and drag this around, and what you'll want to do is you'll want to take these points and line them up to the corners of a building or something that you're trying to change the perspective of. Now if we do it from here, it's going to warp the top of this building a little bit, so you might actually want to raise up these points to a higher destination so that it actually keeps that perspective. So let's go to the top of this building, and this isn't going to be perfect because I'm just trying to show you really quickly how this works, but I do want to be somewhat accurate. Let's maybe move this over a little bit. Okay, so that looks about right. Now we can click over here and it's going to give us another one of these, and once you connect these two, that's when the warp tool is really going to start working for us. So as you can see here, I can come down, and when I drag this into that point, it's connected it and added that top point automatically for me. Now we want to keep the perspective the best that we can, so let's say it's going down at this angle. If this house was a perfect square, it would look something similar to that. Now this might not be perfect again, but I just want to show you real fast how this tool works. Once we have those two connected and our perspective mapped out how we see fit, and we hit enter, it's going to take us into the warp mode, and now we can start adjusting the perspective. As we begin moving these points, Photoshop is going to recalculate the image and figure out the best way to adjust this perspective for us. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. I'm going to click this bottom left point, and let's say we want to see more of the side of this building instead of this view. Well, I can click at that point, and it's going to warp this image around to give us that new perspective, and we'll need to adjust the top point, and you can see how that can be warped. So now when I get more of the side of this building and a little less of the perspective that I'm looking for, I can hit enter, and it'll calculate that and save it. And if I, use the control or command Z, I can go back and forth to see how this looks. Now, because of the way this roof is shaped, it got a little warping going on here. And like I said, this wasn't going to be perfect, but you can see how this tool will easily allow you to come in and change perspectives and warp those perspectives to the way that you want your picture to look.